Welcome, brave souls, to a realm where boundaries between the real and macabre blur into an unsettling dance of shadows in this digital abyss, where the flickering pixels meet the ethereal realm of artificial intelligence. We embark on a journey into the heart of terror. Join us as we delve into the eerie domain of AI-generated horror stories. Well, the reason I was laughing during that, if anyone was wondering, is because that was actually generated by AI. That intro was generated by AI. So yeah, basically the intro is what it sounded like. Basically, we're going to look at 3 stories I made AI generate me, ChatGPT, and then I'm going to decide which one's the scariest. Well, let's get into that. Story 1, Arachnids Embrace. The old mansion stood on the outskirts of town, its decaying walls hidden beneath a blanket of ivy. Abandoned for decades, it was a place whispered about in hushed tones, a place where the shadows seemed to dance with malevolent intent. The air around it felt heavy with the weight of secrets and only the bravest dare to approach its creaking gate. One gloomy evening, a group of friends decided to test their courage and explore the haunted mansion. As they stepped through the rustling gate, the air grew colder and an eerie silence settled over the overgrown garden. The moon cast an otherworldly glow, revealing the mansion's twisted facade. The friends cautiously made their way through the dimly lit corridors, their footsteps echoing in the empty halls. As they ventured deeper into the mansion, an unsettling feeling crept over them. A faint sound, like skittering feet, seemed to follow them from room to room. Unbeknownst to the group, a colony of spiders had made the mansion their home. In the neglected corners and hidden crevices they worked, weaving intricate webs that shimmered in the moonlight. These were no ordinary spiders. They were ancient, their ancestors having thrived on the fear of those who dared to enter the mansion. As the friends reached the grand ballroom, the skittering sounds intensified. Unnerved, they scanned the room with trembling flashlights, revealing webs that covered the walls like grotesque tapestry. The air was thick with tension, and a sense of foreboding enveloped them. Suddenly, the room plunged into darkness, and the friends felt a peculiar sensation on their skin. The skittering grew louder, and unseen, 8-legged creatures crawled across their bodies. Panic set in as they swatted at the invisible assailants, their hearts pounding in terror. One by one, the friends succumbed to the paralyzing fear, their screams echoing through the mansion. In the shadows, the ancient spiders reveled in the feast of fear, their presence unseen but deeply felt. As dawn broke, the mansion stood silent once again, its secret guarded by the spiders that had claimed it as their own. The only evidence of a friend's ill-fated venture was the eerie silence that lingered in the grand ballroom, where the spiders continued to weave their webs, patiently awaiting the next unsuspecting intruders to feed their insatiable hunger for fear. So, that was a story I asked to be about spiders. In my opinion, it was pretty good. I'd say it was, I'd give it a... Okay, so it was written pretty good. I wish I had more text, so it'll be a 7 out of 10 for me. That's pretty good. Next one has nothing to do about me. For some reason, I described it as just write a horror story about my wife. That's because I heard some weird rumors about how they could hear about your wife. But yeah, nothing about my wife in this one. In the small towns of Shadows Hollow, a sinister undercurrent flowed for the everyday life of a resident named Alex. At first glance, everything seemed ordinary. The quaint streets, friendly neighbors, and familiar surroundings. However, as the days passed, an unsettling feeling began to gnaw at Alex's psyche. It all started innocently enough, with strange occurrences. Objects moved when they shouldn't, shadows lurked in the corners of rooms, and a cold breeze whispered ominous secrets in the dead of night. Alex tried to dismiss these incidents as mere figments of an overactive imagination, but the unease persisted. One fateful evening, as Alex navigated the dimly lit streets on the way home, an eerie fog descended, shrouding the town in an otherworldly haze. Figures moved in the mist, indistinct and unsettling. Each step Alex took echoed with a foreboding restlessness, as if the very town itself was watching and waiting. The nightmares began shortly after. Vivid and haunting, they mirrored Alex's daily life, blurring the lines between reality and the twisted realm of subconsciousness. In the dreams, shadows whispered dark secrets, and faces distorted into grotesque masks of malevolence. The same chilling phrase echoed in the dreamscape: "You are not alone." As the nightmares intensified, so did the paranormal events in Alex's waking life. Whispers followed in every room, chilling the air. Reflections in mirrors seemed to move independently, revealing a distorted version of reality. Alex's own reflection grinned malevolently, as if harboring a dark secret. Desperation set in, and Alex sought solace in the town's history. Ancient tales spoke of a malevolent force that had long plagued Shadows Hollow, a force that fed on the fears and anxiety of its inhabitants. Legends hinted at a cursed lineage, and Alex began to suspect that the ominous presence had chosen to focus its attention on them. As the darkness tightened its grip, Alex's relationships crumbled, and isolation became an unwelcome companion. Friends and families distanced themselves, unable to comprehend the growing darkness that consumed Alex's life. In a final, desperate attempt to break free from the malevolent force, Alex sought the guidance of an enigmatic local figure rumored to possess knowledge of the town's dark history. The figure warned of a choice that would determine Alex's fate. A choice that balanced on a knife's edge between salvation and eternal torment. The night arrived when the choice had to be made. In the heart of Shadow's Hollow, surrounded by the echoes of forgotten whispers, Alex faced the darkness head-on. The malevolent force manifested, a swirling vortex of shadows and despair. In that moment, the choice became clear: to succumb to the darkness or to defy it with unwavering courage. As the confrontation reached its climax, the town held its breath. The shadows recoiled, and the malevolent force faltered with a surge of determination. Alex defied the whispered fears, breaking free from the sinister influence that had gripped their life. The fog lifted, and Shadow's Halls returned to its semblance of normalcy. The nightmare ceased, and the ominous whispers faded into the past. The town resumed its quiet existence, seemingly unaware of its dark chapter that had unfolded within its confines. But deep within the shadows, the malevolent force bided its time, waiting for a new opportunity to feed on the fears of the unsuspecting. As the echoes of Alex's ordeals lingered, Shadow's Hollows remained forever haunted by the specter of its own dark history. Wow, that was long. It was called, I forgot to say the title of that one, but it was Echoes of Shadow's Hollow, according to AI. They actually have longer names the AI gave them, but I just shortened it to make it sound better. Yeah, that was a mouthful. Oh Lord, oh, that was long. Oh my, I gotta rest my voice box. That was fun to read. So I'd give it a 9 out of 10. The only reason it's not a 10 out of 10 is because it's too long in my opinion, and it didn't really follow the description that I gave too well. But then again, it'd be hard to, but I don't know. Let's hold our breath for the horror story about cats. What's this one's name again? Feline Whispers. Let's start about the story of Feline Whispers. In the small town of Raven's Hollow, an eerie atmosphere clung to the narrow alleys and time-worn buildings. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones about the legends of the Whispering Cats, an ancient curse that had plagued Raven's Hollow for generations. Emma, a curious and adventurous woman, moved to the town, seeking a fresh start. Unfazed by the ominous tales, she settled into a centuries-old cottage on the outskirts, surrounded by gnarled trees that seemed to reach out with skeletal fingers. As the days passed, Emma noticed the peculiar behavior of the town's feline inhabitants. Stray cats with emerald green eyes silently observing her every move, their gaze penetrating her soul. Later at night, she heard them prowling on her doorstep, their soft rhythmic purring blending with a howling wind. Meow! One moonlit evening, as Emma strolled through the town's desolate streets, she stumbled upon an ancient book in a dusty bookstore. The leather-bound tome spoke of an ancient cult that once worshipped mysterious feline entities seeking power beyond mortal comprehension. The whispering cats, it claimed, were the cursed remnants of that dark pact. Dismissive of the ominous warnings, Emma delved deeper into the town's history, determined to unravel the mystery. One by one, the stray cats began to gather outside her cottage, their numbers multiplying with each passing day. Their green eyes seemed to glow in the darkness, a silent harbinger of impending doom. Nightmares plagued Emma's sleep, visions of shadowy felines whispering cryptic messages in an otherworldly language. Desperation set in as the whispers infiltrated her waking hours, a maddening cacophony that echoed through the corridors of her mind. As the town grew wary of Emma, rumors spread that she had unleashed a curse upon Raven's halls. Fearful eyes followed her every move, and the one welcoming community turned into a hostile sea of suspicions. Emma's attempts to break the curse only seemed to intensify the feline presence. She consulted mystics and scholars, delving into arcane rituals in a desperate bid for salvation. The cats, however, remained unfazed. Their whispering grew louder and more insidious. One fateful night, as a storm raged outside, Emma discovered a hidden chamber beneath her cottage. In the dim candlelight, she found ancient symbols etched into the walls, depicting shadowy figures surrounded by cats. The realization struck. The whispering cats were not merely cursed creatures, but conduits for a malevolent entity that hungered for souls. The chamber trembled as the feline chorus reached a deafening crescendo, the air thickening with an overworldly presence, and Emma felt a cold breath on the back of her neck. The entity, awakened by her discoveries, sought to claim her soul as payment for the sins of those who had invoked its wrath. With dread in her heart, Emma faced the entity, surrounded by the whispering felines. As the shadows closed in, the town of Raven's Hollow fell into an eternal silence, haunted by the spectral whispers of the cursed cats that prowled its darkened alleys. Honestly, she should have just got a lot of water. Or cucumbers. Cats are scared of cucumbers for some reason. Or, just tame the cat. Well, that was the final story. Let's see. That story was honestly 10 out of 10. I loved it. Let's see. What is ChatGPT's idea on all these stories? I'm currently asking ChatGPT to rate these stories. Because I didn't ask this earlier. Okay. Let's see her opinion. Why did I just assume ChatGPT was a girl? Oh no, man. Okay, so ChatGPT's rating on Arachnids Embrace was 8 out of 10. Their commentary is, the story creates a tense atmosphere with vivid description of the haunted mansion and the ancient spiders. The use of suspense in the eerie setting contributes to a compelling horror narrative. Her narrating of Echoes of Shadows Hollow. Wait, that was the name, right? Yeah. Their rating was a 9 out of 10 for that. The commentary was, this story effectively builds a sense of foreboding and intertwines the protagonist's life with the town's dark history. This resolution adds a satisfying twist to the traditional haunted town narrative. That had nothing to do with my life. Like, I'd never heard half those things in my life. And then their rating for Feline Whispers, my favorite story out of all of them, was 7 out of 10. Their commentary is the story weaves an intriguing tale about the cursed cats and the protagonist's discovery of the town's dark secret. While the concept is unique, some aspects could be further developed for a deeper impact. Now let's do something. Let's ask them. Use all these stories to make one big story. Let's see this story. It's probably... Never mind, this story is just a third story, except with spiders. Adding spiders to the catch thing. Well, that was all. If you like this, then I guess like... I don't know. Well, if you like this video, then I guess you should like and perhaps subscribe, as, I'm really trying to get popular, man. I'm just doing whatever I feel like might get popular. Well, that's all. Go have a good evening, night, morning, or whatever time of the day it is for you. And remember, cats are evil.